Hello everybody and welcome to the final session of Arcana Core, Mysteries in the Unconscious. A fantastic campaign. I'm going to try and not be emotional over the course of this session. We've been working on this for, 7-8 months now, and we've finally reached the end, and that is exciting but also sad. But I think we've told... Well, we'll continue to tell a fantastic story together. But first, let me introduce our players once again. Going from left to right in our little HUD below, we have Ruben playing Goyne.
Hi everyone, it's me, Goyne.
We have Tom playing Sinichi.
Pleasure, everybody. Nice to see you all again.
We have Marcy playing Sabine.
I'm happy.
Why is that funny? That's not that shouldn't be funny. God. And we have Will playing Lucian.
Lucian Harfang at your service, and also happy.
Indeed.
You guys are happy?
Well, things are kind of coming to an initial head.
I got the impression it was just polite to say you're happy, I guess.
And yet you still couldn't smile for the group shot again.
If you wanted me to smile, you should have written me a note to make sure I would have done it. I can't remember all these things.
Okay, everybody, places. Before we can resume the stories, before we like to do the last time on, there is things have been going kind of wild in the last couple of sessions, but don't worry. If you weren't around for some of the stuff that happened last month, or you don't remember, our boy and fifth protagonist, Reggie Mendoza, is available to explain what happened last time on Arcana Core. So, here we go, I guess. Big stretch. This is, last time, what happened on Arcana Core, Mysteries in the Unconscious. Oh, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Reggie Mendoza, I'm 15, well, nearly, and, I think I have superpowers? It all started when a kid from my school, Sunichi Mori, ran into me in Jungsburg's biggest arcade, Ocean's Bounty. Turns out we were both skipping school on the same day. He'd heard of me and my skills at Glass Heart CX. Of course, it's the hottest new fighting game from overseas, and I'm the national #1. I'd love to take things international, but I'm not allowed to be out of school for that long. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. But it seems that I'm no longer #1, since Sunichi managed to absolutely thrash me. And he's not even played the game before. He must have cheated, but so many people were watching, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to live it down. So, to cheer me up, Sunichi showed me one of the really old arcade machines here. It was a fortune-telling machine, and it revealed a card to me, and we were suddenly somewhere else. A huge convention hall, or maybe a casino. Not only did Sunichi look a whole lot different, he also had some bizarre-looking friends. They all seemed to know what was going on, so we began to explore the building to look for help. It turns out the building was hosting a convention, and a gaming one at that. The main game tournament in question wasn't one I'd heard of, a shooter called Peril, but they were offering prizes in literal gold. In fact, none of the games were ones I'd heard of, but the more I thought about how to beat them, the more something welled up inside of me. A voice telling me that I can go beyond, a realization I was a master of these games, any games. For I am Reggie Mendoza, host to the Norns, Sisters of Fate, and I will never lose a game again. Not to cheaters in top hats, or to any contender in this weird convention space. I'm going to find that prize money, snatch it for myself, and then no one will doubt to take me seriously. And now we resume Arcana Core, Mysteries in the Unconscious. But before we go and see Reggie Mendoza, surely he wants to be the protagonist of this story, but it's not time for him yet. In fact, it is time to see what is going on with the hero of our team who wasn't able to make it last time on camera, the one and only Sabine. And in fact, let's go and change up our little HUD since the focus of our story has changed a little bit. Oop. Oop. Yes, this is now Big Sabine hours. Let's go and find a nice vibe.
Big Sabine in the little city.
There we go. So when we last saw Sabine, she was enjoying a pretty pleasant day heading to school. She got up in time. Her mother made her pancakes to go. She had some studying to do in the library, but otherwise, things were looking up, looking healthy for all involved. Another ordinary school day. And actually, on the way to school, Sabine, you get a phone call from one of your good friends. Vega calls.
Excitedly, I reach into my purse and I pull out my cell phone and I answer, a little bit of a happy smirk on my face, and I say, "Hey Viggs, what's going on?"
Hey, good morning, Sabine. How you doing?
Doing fine, doing okay. You know, spent some time in the library yesterday, so I'm feeling like I got this test down pat this morning.
Oh, you're going to be studying today. Well, that's good. That's good. It's good to study. I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of a heads up.
What about?
Oh, oh gosh. And you can like hear her like blush down the phone almost. I'm not sure whether I'm in the process to kind of drop this bomb on you, but I don't know. I think we're gonna have some action today. Just a hunch. Yeah. I know it's been a little while since you were at Rider HQ, but I think you're probably going to be called for the job.
All right. Well, I'll make sure I give my parents a text to let them know that I'll be staying late today for some extracurricular things. Thanks for the heads up, Viggs.
No problem. You walk past like a high street shop on your way to school, and in the reflection of the glass, you see your mythos Mordred walking alongside you, but not. You can feel his presence, but you can mostly only see. Actually, well, your what I should probably check because Mordred is in some ways a separate entity to you. What is Mordred's pronouns?
Mordred, I guess, is he, him.
Sure. And what you can see in the reflection, Mordred walking beside you, and he's like, Lady Kissner, if we're going to be seeing some action today, I hope you've been practicing your sword fighting skills.
Of course. I know that you typically see everything I'm up to, but I've found ways to sneak around behind your back. I wanted to impress you.
I look forward to being impressed in the pursuit of justice and judgment. And before Vega hangs up and is like, oh yes, but if you do need either I or Kier to come pick you up when the action goes, just give us a call. We're not too far away.
Oh, no, that's okay. My parents have been really cool with letting me borrow their car lately, so I should be able to get myself to where I need to go. But I appreciate it, Viggs.
Oh, fair enough. Well, you know, in times like these, I kind of remember that in some ways, well, we're pretty much the same person, so I just wanted to kind of look out for myself.
You know, I feel that exact same way. Thanks for looking out for me.
And she hangs up. And your school day progresses as relatively normal. I need to make sure what screen this is. We're going to absolutely fantastic, excellent. It is your school day kind of progresses as per normal. You sit in the library for a period of time, working quite hard. on your next sort of assignment. And as you kind of like step back into the school halls with the intent of going for a bit of a stretch, making sure that you can rehydrate. You gotta your brain isn't going to be working correctly if you're not keeping yourself hydrated.
I've got like one of those big reusable eco-friendly water bottles attached to my book bag, and I'm like, sitting at the water fountain filling it up.
Who are you? What have you done
Being all
to me?
super responsible, yeah.
And while you're in the hallway, you hear like a faint crackling, almost like a distant radio on the edge of your hearing. And it's kind of just faintly, you hear a mixed static calling in Team Delta. Emergency mission.
I look up at first and think it's like the school PA system, and then I realize, like, I listened to the words and I realized that would be a really weird thing for the school to be announcing. So I guess I start like walking towards where I hear the message coming from.
Mm-hmm. And you walk for a while, and then you're like, wait, no, this is internal. I can hear this inside my head. This is normal, right? This has happened before. Do you remember this happening before, Sabine?
I guess if she like can see Mordred and they have a relationship and stuff, then I guess she probably like still has that connection to Ryder, so she probably remembers that at least.
And you've not seen them super often, but you're working in a team, or at least the last time you did. There was this whole event where there was a owner of like a grocer's or like a food production plant, and he was making these apples that made everybody obsessed about buying his brand of products, and you all worked together to stop him, but that was ages ago.
Huh.
She like unzips her backpack and like pulls out the berries and stuff like from breakfast, and she sees there's like a single apple slice in the berry compote. And she's like, that's feels very weird. She quickly throws everything back in her backpack, and maybe she like ducks into like a spare room that they store like gym equipment in. And she walks up to folded up cushions and like gym equipment, and she sits down. She throws her book bag next to her, and she, I think, just like closes her eyes and kind of tries to focus on the crackling message and the like feelings like tied to it. So I guess she probably like not only thinks about the message itself, but then also like tries to remember like follow the little threads of the bits and pieces of the previous missions and encounters and stuff. And
that sounds good. What kind of role
even
should
flashes of like the old Tenchi unit, and she maybe like squeezes her palms a little bit at those moments.
Yes, I think give me an investigate role as you sit down and you're investigating within thyself to see if you can dig up something.
I like it. Let me see here.
Let's put something a bit more internal.
11. All right.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you get a clue essentially. So you get to ask me a question, and then I will answer to the best of my ability. So what do you want to find out from this internal searching?
Why can't I remember anything like that from the last month or so? However long we've been, in game we've been going.
You look within yourself, and the best way that it could be described was that there was a page of your mental diary that was written, several pages, and they seem to be obscured, covered in thick red, blue, black ink, and you can't read what's on it anymore.
I think Sabine is like, she's gone from sort of sitting upright, palms clenched, to more like leaning backwards on the gym equipment. And she looks to her left and calls out for Mordred.
Mm-hmm. Let me summon Mordred. Oh no. Mordred is going to appear tiny and then grow to correct size, which is how Mordred appears now. That's canon. Hold on.
Mordred's just Jiminy Cricket from
teeny tiny Mordred. Mordred get big though. Hi.
It's me, Mordred.
Lady Kistner. Is there something you needed?
Something's not making sense to me, Mordred. I feel like there's a lot of missing time from my recent memory banks, and some things aren't really adding up. I mean, I know talking to a big robotic knight that bears the name and legend of Arthurian knights isn't necessarily normal, but I feel like there's something more to it. Like, I can't just have you and I'm going to school normally, and why does it feel like my life only started recently in my head, like yesterday? With pancakes. I don't...
This is very concerning, Lady Kistner. As far as I recall, we have been through several adventures.
Why don't I remember you all that much, then? Or the adventures? Or anything, really. I feel like I have, I don't know, a cooperation, a team, something. There's no group projects going on. I checked my planner, turned all those in last semester.
Well, I think that in most of these circumstances, if we go into the future and into unknown territory with a bold heart and a courageous attitude, we can achieve all sorts of things.
That's why I like you, Mordred. You always have a gung-ho gusto that I vibe really well with. I like exciting, upbeat people like you.
Of course, Lady. And there's like an interruption, and almost coming through the grill in Mordred's face, you hear a familiar voice. Agent Kistner? Agent Kistner.
Mordred?
This is Agent Fields. Can you hear me?
Fields? Why does that sound... Your voice? Who are you?
Oh, goodness. Something clearly seems to be going wrong on a larger scale here, but I don't have time. I need to give you this urgent report. The other members of Team Delta are currently in a shard of the collective unconsciousness on Festival Coast. I have not heard back from them recently, and I've decided to send in Team Gamma to investigate. They are coming to your location to pick you up now.
Hey, listen, man, this is a weird time to do a prank call. I'm a student. I'm in between math and Spanish now.
Arrangements will be made and excuses made for you, do not worry. But this is urgent. We need you on the field immediately.
All right. I'll, okay, urgent, sure. Please lose my number.
Mind how you go,
Good
Sabine.
prank.
And, look out for your friends. They're important.
That's a weird thing for him to have said.
And,
Okay.
the voice stops, and, almost as if they were paused, coming back, Lady Kistner.
Yep. Kistner, that's me. That's my name. Anyway, I feel like we're gonna be skipping Spanish today, Mordred. Hope that's within your chivalric code to skip school sometimes. I don't feel too great about it, but I have a feeling that we may have to step out for a bit.
In the name of adventure, we can do all sorts of things. Your phone goes off. It is. I'm enjoying being Mordred.
That's great. Mordred's great.
I think I would be, if this was a JRPG, I would be horrendously frustrated by him. Your phone goes off, It's a text message from Vega, who's kind of messaging like, "Where are you? We're outside school. Come quick."
Sabine, I guess, heeds a little bit, takes it a little bit more seriously since it's Vega saying that, and she maybe isn't really even like putting two and two together that what Fields was talking about, like a mystery or like a emergency in Team Gamma and stuff. I think she just, her friend is saying, "I need you to come outside," so she's gonna, I think, probably just like leave her backpack in that spare room and just hop up and kind of lightly jog out, so as to not get the ire of the hall monitor.
Absolutely. Hold on just a moment while I set up the next space, because apparently not all the characters are here. You would think that when I give myself time to make sure that we have all the bits and pieces in place, I would remember all eventualities like an omniscient person. But I don't have the right pogs here.
This is your reminder, folks at home, that GMs are just people too.
We also make mistakes.
Roll20 is a fickle beast.
Oh man, having to do this through Roll20 is definitely making it considerably more difficult. But hey, we out here.
As a GM myself, I'd like to say that I never make mistakes, and I'm the best one. So
I'd like to echo Ruben's sentiment. It's easy every time, and yeah.
I was making like
GMs have no rights.
I was just inventing a village the other day and talking about how much crops they produce and the amount of people living each and every single house. A super big and detailed floor plan just for fun. Just
yeah. The Catholic Church hates me because I just keep playing God.
God. Okay. So I will as it were fast forward things very briefly as they arrive in their own rider branded like unmarked vehicle and drive you quite speedily to Festival Coast. And while you're here, they drop you. Everybody gets bundled off at an arcade.
Are we skipping school to play games? I never quite expected this from you two.
This is okay. This is I guess kind of complicated to explain. There's I think so we don't explain how the rules of this setting work just again. Right. What kind of specific questions do you happen to ask Vega and Kier on the ride over? Because I guess that's probably yeah.
I don't know. I think like on the ride over, she's she just makes sure that everything is okay. Like she sees Kier and Vega, and neither of them are like dead or bleeding or anything. So she eases that out of her mind. And then she's just like, where are we going? An arcade? Why are we going to an arcade? Like, did you really just pretend to have an emergency so I could cut class and play arcade games with you? Is basically.
And there is a whole kind of almost re-explanation of what the collective unconsciousness is.
Do I have any like clicks? Any like brain blasts?
This all makes sense
That's
to
so
you.
Raven moments. Okay.
I think in a way. This all makes sense to you as if you had maybe read the strategy guide before. Like, This is all told to you and you're like, oh yeah, I know all of this. I don't remember doing any of this in practice, but I apparently have the theory all the way really down. Cool I even know that these are made by nightmares and all that shit.
Right.
Yes, like a Game FAQs guide. You've read it through.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, and actually, while you're here, you definitely feel the walls between fiction and reality get weirdly, scarily thin. And, like, you felt this so many times before, and the first time simultaneously, and then you see the fortune teller machine.
I'm just instantly drawn to it. How can I not want to just walk immediately over to that?
It radiates. How would Sabine describe this kind of like synesthesiac sensation of fiction and reality being blended together?
Suffocating, neon purpose.
You can feel the neon just emanating from this machine, radiating
I feel
it.
like it's like wrapping around the back of Sabine, like pulling her in, like tendrils, just like pulling her towards the machine. So she
And-
just, without even saying anything to Kier, Vega, or anything, she just starts walking towards it.
You see them like walk over to the machine in entirely different outfits to what they were before. And in a similar way, you're like, I've never seen that before, but also I know exactly what that is. Do I have one? That'd be cool. I wonder what it looks like. That kind of discussion goes on in your head as you move over to this location. Moving things around.
Do I like have a pull, like a instinct to just like put a quarter in or something?
I think you reach to put a quarter in, and then you feel like your arm kind of just dissolve into nonsense, and before you know it, you're outside.
She like hard blinks a couple times and looks around and realizes that she's like in basically like the Las Vegas Strip instead of just this shitty little arcade on the coast. And she, like, maybe while looking around, she catches the collar of her collective unconscious gear and like look, and does like that like surprised step back, look around, but also maybe not like as surprised as she should be, because it's not like really her first time, but it is her first time, but it's not her first time. So I think she kind of just like takes a step back, like looks at herself, and then it's just like, yeah, okay, that's right, forgot about this thing.
A parking lot stretches to infinity behind you, seemingly endless, as this casino, convention center, hotel. It's big, it's expensive looking, and apparently your friends are here.
Is that weird, or is that another thing that's sort of just like subconsciously normal? Like, I know that they can be here.
Yes, you're kind of like this again makes sense. There is a team that you work with, that you don't see them right now, but they're definitely here. Apparently, that's what the voice in your head or in Mordred's head said.
Right. Okay. Then I think I just like look at Kier and Vega, and I just say, all right, what's the scoop?
Right. Well, Kier kind of like pipes up. So, we are generally enlisted by Ryder to detect when new shards of the collective unconscious open, and then report back, and they send the appropriate team to go and handle it. But this time round, it seems that your teammate, Shinichi Mori, discovered it himself and then decided to send members in without notifying us first, which is a horrendous breach of protocol. But more than anything else, I just want to make sure that they're safe. These areas, well, if you jump in too deep unprepared, you could get lost.
I feel like a really sharp pain, like just a brief headache in my temples when I hear like Shinichi Mori, and kind of come to, and at the end of Kira's explanation, I say, well, that's pretty unforgivable that they would go around and skirt protocol like that. Rules are in place for a reason, and that's just so unlike them to do such a thing. I'm sure that there will be plenty of paperwork that needs to be filled out, and I'm not helping them with that. I'm a rule abider.
Vega is like, oh man, both of you can be such sticks in the mud. Yes, we have protocols and so on and so forth, but sometimes you need to leap into action. Isn't that what that tin can of a partner is into?
Well, Mordred is certainly one to jump into action, but we all know how Mordred's story ended, so I try to keep him on a very reasonable leash, and he obeys me usually.
Let's see.
I make it up to him by letting him choose the movie on movie nights.
You hear, I think only you hear, Sabine kind of like, I'm a big fan of romantic comedies, Sabine Kistner.
Yes, you are.
Miss Kistner, please, Paul Blart again.
And we can sync it up to Dark Side of the Moon. There are some parts that really go well together.
Oh man.
I really want to see the 51st date again. It'll be great. Third time this month.
Maybe it'll turn out differently. I don't know whether Mordred, as somebody from the medieval era, I like the idea that they are also like concept and understanding wise very firmly in the Middle Ages and do not understand.
Yeah, he got really super into romantic comedies and loves it.
But yeah, I think Keir starts putting a spell circle of fortune reading cards on the floor and sits in the middle of them muttering to himself, and his eyes, well, when in the collective unconscious, it's just entirely white scleras, no iris or pupil, and the kind of like freckles underneath his eyes open up into another set of eyes. He is considerably more spider-like in this setting, which is unnerving. I even if you're kind of used to all of this in theory, maybe seeing some of this stuff in practice is like, fuck, man.
Yeah. Reading about it in the file in my mind is different from seeing it up close.
Let's see. They appear to be, well, they've headed in quite deep already. There seem to be an additional person who I've not met working with them. Or maybe it's an enemy. We should probably hurry, there's no time to waste. Vega's like, we're ready to kick some ass, let's go!
You said that these people in here, they're my team?
Yes, that's correct.
Then the first person in there that you're detecting looks like they replaced me already. Oh well.
Well, it would be like Keir scratches the side of his face a bit sheepishly. It's one thing for them not to notify me when the shard opens to go and investigate, but to change their team makeup without notifying any of us either is just downright rude.
Sabine like cites the like part of the handbook that like says all team personnel chart changes must be like, cleared ahead of time through Rider HQ, your handler, and it must have the approval of like 2 other teams or something.
Arcana Core Directive 656 clearly
Exactly.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Keir reels off. So I can definitely feel the essences of the story in Sneechy Mori, Lucian Harfang, and Goyn Lapis Blue.
Just like a long, like, pang of pain just every time, just like all over that whole naming of the team.
Right.
Just like holding down a key on your keyboard.
Just so many spaces are being added to this text box unbeknownst.
Yes.
Vega is doing athletic stretches. Like she's about to go do a 100-meter sprint, and actually she then immediately sprints into the building.
When Keira and I catch up to her, I eventually like walk up and like noogie her head. And Vega, we gotta work together here. Come on. But I like that gusto. I'm sure Mordred loves it too.
And as we kind of like, this is a scene that we've seen in a familiar way before, as there is a wide variety of different arcade games already going on, and a concierge at the front desk offering gold coins to everybody, and Vega like shoves him out of the way as she moves past, as she turns to the two of you and is like, I think I've got their essences in the building. We've got to go get them quickly, I think.
Mordred, lead the way. This is where you shine.
Whoa! I just moved the background. That's not right. No, no,
Mordred
no.
has so much Genki in him
Just
that he moved
just
that.
quaking.
Incredible. Fucking Genki ass knight.
Mordred does indeed manifest in the space. Or actually, I guess this is up for you to decide whether you have. I need to make sure that you have control of Mordred for one, but I will let you kind of decide whether you want to.
Control of Mordred.
Let me make sure that is.
You know what? I think I kind of like that, though. Can I be honest with you? I think Mordred works a little bit differently from when Sabine had Tenchi as nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
I think I leave Mordred to you, sort of. She has more of a hands-off approach in her state as she is now, because she was so driven by, like, vengeance and revenge that she could control it more, freely.
Sure.
Where I feel like Mordred is a sort of step away from Sabine in a way, especially with Sabine the way that she is now.
You
So I
do,
feel like-
however, at least out of character, you have the ability to switch your token over
Okay.
to Mordred whenever you want to. So if you do want to cross fuse, as it were, you absolutely can. Just
Sure.
let me know, and you can switch your token over. But as Vega kind of like dashes into the space, a bunch of kind of like people from the crowd almost kind of make themselves known visibly and almost kind of like psychically to you. Businessmen in really expensive suits, slicked back hair, gold chains, the first 3 buttons of their shirt opened, and that's just, well, they look like Yakuza members out of a video game. And then you look at them in the face, and instead of eyes, dice rattle emptily where their eyes should be, as they start to move towards you. Oi, 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 oi! If you ain't got no coins, you don't belong in here.
I think Sabine eyes the salesman up and down, and with the like motion, the like ease of just like swatting at a fly, she just like commands Mordred to just like cut this guy in half.
Hell yes. Okay. Let's go and I think in this specific instance I'm not going to fish for making an opening here. You're just going to go and it is a strike. So when you we're taking advantage of an opening just because this is the demonstration of your anime strength. Roll power and describe the status that you want to inflict. So what tags are you going to be using in this roll?
Let's see. I think we'll do protect Sabine Kistner, of course, from Tenchi. We'll do Clarent the Mystic Sword, and Inspiring Revolution. We'll do all
Ooh.
3 of those.
You are immediately going to start with revolting. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Cool. Go and use the macro to roll for strike, please.
With a 3 modifier.
Mhm.
All right. 10.
10, full success. Tell me Wagwan. No side effects.
Yeah, I think Sabine is like just walking forward with Kier, and Vega maybe got past the snake-eyed salesman. They're just like kind of like bumped shoulders with him.
Vega's already running. She's out
Vega's
here.
she's deep in there. Where Sabine feels normal, used to this. And yeah, just like after the snake-eyed salesman, ain't got no coin. She just like swats, in the air, and just Mordred swings Clarent like right down and just like bisects the snake-eyed salesman. Yeah.
As
And then
it
she
just
keeps
dashes straight
walking,
through.
like keeping in step, like not even like losing rhythm.
The snake eye salesman reaches a hand forward as if to try and grab you as you move past, and the top half of the salesman just slides off the body and hits the floor with a wet slap as blood as dark as ink sprays into the air and covers some of the nearby arcade machines. As
I appreciate rules, but can't you see that we're in a hurry? You continue to move through the space, following after Vega, and it turns out that the deeper you get into this place, the more kind of like twisty the building gets. Like the internals do not make sense for the externals, and before long you reach almost kind of like a labyrinth of slot machines. There are so many here, and it is kind of really difficult to navigate around them all, as you're kind of looking for the correct way to proceed. It has become almost labyrinthine here, and you start to hear a whirring sound. Hold on. Yeah, you start to hear a whirring sound, and you look to the sky, and it seems that the alarm has been raised, as it were, and there are various entities coming after you. Not just the salesman, of which there are many, but it seems that they're now starting to send drones after you. Vega, can you use your mythos to find us the best path, the path of least resistance out of here?
Vega is kind of nods kind of sternly at you. Now it seems that there are actual stakes. She's taking things a bit more seriously, and she kind of clutches her hands to her chest and mutters, "Ibarahime," and vines pour out of her into the ground and start to snake through the floor in all directions, basically using vines to auto-solve the maze, but it seems that she needs to kind of stay still while she does so. The whirring noises get louder as additional drones manifest in the space. And as you look at them, it seems that there are multiple kind of like glass chambers attached to the top of the drones, and something is pouring out of them.
Can I want to get a better look, if I can.
Absolutely, absolutely. That feels like a see clear roll. When you try to read a dangerous situation, roll plus power.
Okay, let me see if I have tags that can help me out here. Operate past my limit. That I will use, and
that makes sense.
Can't be too safe.
Okay.
And we'll do those two.
Makes sense to me.
14.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh, rolling real good today. On a 10 plus, ask 3. Okay, so there are
What's
4.
it dropping?
There is which exit takes me to my goal? What here is valuable? What can the enemies here do? What should I be on the lookout for?
I think Sabine doesn't care much for value, so I think she's going to choose the 3 for the situation.
The exit to the goal will be soon apparent. I think as you okay, we can do it this way, that I can kind of describe all 3 of you at once. You hop up on top of one of the slot machines, and you can see in the surprising distance a large metal door, almost featureless, just steel, on the far wall. And it seems like it'll be a bit of a route to go there, especially if you have to kind of like vault over each wave of machines to get there. But once you kind of have the final destination with Vega confirmed, you'll be able to take the fastest route. But then blocking your line of sight is this drone, and you get a closer look at it, and it seems that it is a salt drone. in quite a literal sense, multiple gigantic salt shakers are attached to this thing, and salt is pouring from it onto the ground below, and as it hits the ground and the machines, they start to crystallize over and turn, almost in the biblical sense, to pillars of salt.
Okay. All right. Okay. How is Kier reacting to all of this?
Kier is right. Well, I think if you get them in the right position, I can make sure we can destroy all of them at once. I've already got some threads laid down, but they need to be closer.
Okay. Say no more, Kier. And then Sabine, I think, she's gonna don herself into, she's gonna hop into Mordred.
Hell yeah.
I'm just gonna hide the other one real quick.
Mhm.
And then I think she's just gonna like hop up on top of the rows of casino machines
Mhm.
and basically just like, I don't know. I feel like because it's anime and the collective unconscious, Mordred in this form can probably like shoot, fucking beams from
Oh,
his
absolutely.
sword.
I think
So
we
I
established in a previous session where we did like a dream sequence of a potential Sabine at full power, and you just had laser eyes. So
Right, yeah. So I think, yeah, so, Sabine through Mordred is just like, yeah, shooting beams from her sword, his sword, their sword, and, is trying to hit, but doesn't really care if she misses, because it's more about getting them to come
absolutely.
to her via Kier, so Kier can do his thing.
Go and give me a a line it up roll with advantage,
That does
because
make
you're
just the most sense ever.
mhm.
Okay, and I definitely have a +3 to this. Do you want me to read out all the tags?
Yes,
So I
please.
feel like I could- Okay. Definitely don powerful armor,
Mhm.
protect Sabine Kistner,
Mhm.
and Clarent, Mystic Sword.
I think I'm less on the protect Sabine Kistner on this time round, but those two definitely make sense to me.
All right, +2. 13.
Not that it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. On the 10 plus, pick one. So, the foe sends an attack your way. The opening only lasts a few moments. The foe sees you coming, and you'll have disadvantage using the opening. I will say that Kier will probably be ending some of this rather than you. So this is more narrative rather than mechanical, I think, in what happens here. But the foe sending an attack your way, it's a small opening, or using the opening will be difficult.
I think the small opening, I think that's all we need.
Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. So as you start to fire laser shots from the swords, and it starts, the drones are trying to kind of like dodge out of the way, and they all kind of like eventually kind of nudged inwards towards Kier, and before long they're put in a position where one is above the other, and as they suddenly move into that kind of position, Kier jumps all the way back, and multiple almost invisible steel-strong threads manifest and kind of close in, implode on themselves, catching the assault drones in a sudden ball of webs. And then Vega has one of these kind of like thorny tendrils from Ibarahime just erupt out of the ground in a straight upwards line through the both of them, as they are immediately impaled and explode in a shower of salt that looks cool, and then you step away from when you remember what the salt does to objects.
Right. Can I just like shoulder through these casino or these slot machines towards the exit?
I think, especially for the first row, which is now completely kind of like calcified over, as it were. You just shattered through that as you shoulder charge like Wario
Exactly.
through one of them. And okay, I guess what's kind of going on in another scene is this same area. So I'm going to put us back to the loading screen for a second while I go and set up what's going on next. But this is Sabine Kistner's solo adventure so far. How are we enjoying it?
Apparently.
How
This
are we
is
enjoying it?
Marcy rolls everything exactly the way she wants to and just fucks the entire dungeon.
Oh my god, it was amazing. I was a big fan. You rolling well is entirely okay when it's like entertaining and anime as fuck. so-
Exactly, and that's what I was hoping. I was like, as long as it's not just like, watching somebody get stomped in like a fighting game, then I feel like it was okay.
Well, we watched somebody get stomped in a fighting game last month, but
Heyo.
but yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's kind of like a fun thing of like Sabine, despite being unused to the circumstances at hand, has interesting mastery over these new abilities.
Right.
Is definitely like an interesting thing. Is this the right shot? No, it's not that one. When you have a background with like 8 sides and they are like teeny tiny thumbnails, and so you can't quite see what they're supposed to be, and I have to kind of guess randomly. Oh, do I? I just straight up did not import this background into the thing. I see. Well, I definitely need time to set it up then. Yeah, feel
It's
free.
vamping
Can
time.
y'all vamp for me while I
Oh,
do
yeah.
this? Apologies.
Okay.
Because he's bisexual.
So who's concerned to see all the good rolls being used up early in the session when we like to have boss
Trust
fights
me,
later?
This is all according to plan.
I
This is Sabine wins the day for herself, and hey, sorry guys.
trust. I am happy to see the good rolls used now because I love me a bittersweet ending.
That's right.
Who would have guessed the creator of Mystic Lilies enjoys dramatic endings where things don't go well for the character?
Such a big reveal that I never expected to hear from you.
Thank you for stunking this reveal of my soul.
Hell surprise. There we go.
I think everybody deserves to have like a Danganronpa, exposition moment about their.
Oh, there is plenty of opportunity for that shit. That's definitely something that can happen as we go forward here. Right, let's see.
Just gotta cue up Masafumi Takada's latest sad emotional song.mp3.
All right. Reconvene elsewhere within this shard of the collective unconscious as we decide what vibe we're going for here. Let's see. It's tense, but not quite as tense as that. Let's go for this. Oh yes, Reggie Mendoza is is an interesting time for everybody involved. Let me make sure that we have the right artwork up because Sabine is not here. There we go.
My man.
Yeah. While we're here, just to remind everybody, Shinichi, you have advantage on your next roll thanks to gambling with Avarice Feathers. Similarly, Goin, you have a single use of the tag Lucky. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
And Lucian, this was something that I had wanted to do before and forgot to. You previously had your tags underneath Leader burned because you used Stop Holding Back. And you had a conversation with Agent Fields, who really respected you as a leader, which would actually give you those tags back. And I forgot to do that. So as a mea culpa, you also now have advantage to go and spend on your next roll.
Cool.
Having escaped the gambling parlor with Avarice Feathers and very narrowly kind of avoiding the ability to gamble your lives away in a quite literal sense, you are now in the almost depths of this building at this point. And you can see in this corridor that there seems to be something that looks like a large safe door at the end of this hallway. But as you get closer, you hear a faint buzzing sound. And closer still, and oh fuck. This corridor is covered in lasers.
It just keeps getting better and better.
Well, Reggie pipes up, and I'm on the gym layer, so you didn't see me ping. Reggie pipes up. Well, you claim all of you are so experienced in this kind of circumstance, right? You all work together to explore these areas. Surely this should be nothing for you. Prove how competent you are. Please do. Please do. I would love to see how skilled you all are.
Goin leans into Lucian, goes like, how about we just let this kid take the lead? And, I don't know, get himself exploded? Because he's getting on my nerves.
I've got a bad feeling that whatever consequences one of us will endure will ripple to the rest of us. I'm also not in the mood to see anyone get exploded right now.
Yeah. I used to be pro... Listen, when I met this kid, I was pro Reggie, now I'm anti-Reggie. Gotta say.
Or at least this form of Reggie is a lot
This
more
Reggie, yeah,
difficult
yeah.
than the previous form of Reggie.
Which we shall call crap eating Reggie for.
But yeah, Reggie looks at the four of you, because Kim is also here, and is like, nobody? Oh, fair enough then.
No.
Lucian sticks out an arm in front of Reggie and says, No, I'm fine with taking a stab at this.
Okay, floor's yours.
But I'd like your help, Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a game with you.
I'm interested.
Reggie, I know you're talented, but are you lucky?
Well, I would say I'm the luckiest one around here.
Well, good, because this isn't a game I can win alone. And I want to... Oh man. Let's see. I'm going to use my literary magic, and I'm going to manifest something. Let's see. Oh man, of course. I'm going to manifest a crystal skull, pulling it from some overblown adventure of of colonialism for the whole family. But a manifestation is not an endorsement, kids. And Lucian holds the crystal skull and says, "You might be used to rolling dice that are evenly weighted, but this is a little different. You might need to be exceptionally lucky or exceptionally talented in how you toss it." And Lucian kind of traces, as I think we can probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we might be able to see a number of the laser emitters like lined along the hallway. Yeah. And Lucian just kind of traces them with their hand. I'm going to... The aim of this game is to use this crystal skull to refract those lasers, bending them away from us as well. And I think there's like a smash cut, or like the screen divides into various probabilities of like the lasers being shot into themselves, disabling them, or being shot into other laser things to either short them or something like that, or depending on the nature of these lasers, maybe like exploding each other. But you know, basic idea: lasers shooting lasers. It's going to take a skilled hand, and I haven't been practicing for this. But you, Lucian, I think the way that this manifestation looks is just like flapping open the book and Lucian just like with the book cracked open, runs a hand along the 2 pages, sticks the hand into the book and pulls out the crystal skull, and then hands it to Reggie. You seem like you have beginner's luck.
While you are kind of like getting Reggie on the hook for doing this particular foolish dare, Kim started getting impatient and like moves forwards a little bit and only brushes one of the lasers in a way that you can kind of see him do it, and you're kind of like, oh fuck, he's gonna set off the alarm. An alarm doesn't go off. Instead, there is a singeing sound as there is now a streak of red along Kim's cheek. Goin, a streak of red also appears along your cheek simultaneously as Kim leaps back and says, yeah!
Does it look hot?
This is important for all of the fan artists out there.
It will heal in a way that would not do a cool scar. It's very very superficial.
That's okay.
Very superficial.
Then Gon goes, God, Kim, what the heck?
I don't know. I figured we'd just set off alarms and we'd like fight robots or some shit. That's how this genre works, right?
Kim, could we have a minor level of seriousness about this? Just slightly more so than usual.
Oh, calm the fuck down, Hat Boy.
I agree.
Say that to my face, short ass.
Hey.
Whoa, hey. Junichi,
We're
like
all-
to say,
We're
whatever,
all friends here.
whatever,
And Kim, Lucian puts a hand on Kim's head and pats Kim gently. Kim did us a favor here. Isn't that right, Kim? Now we know the consequences of the actions, and now Reggie has an even better idea of how to twist those lasers to carve us a path. As Lucian just like ominously turns to look towards Reggie. Isn't that right, Reggie?
Oh, I do indeed. I do indeed. Also, as you kind of pat your hand on Kim, you look at Goin. Goin is blue.
because of my name.
In like the previous room where you were gambling with Avarice Feathers, and Goin prompted Kim to try and prank Reggie and missed. Instead, it seems at some point Kim has accidentally on purpose spilled the blue drink on you, and you're blue now.
I'm blue now.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
also a thing. That's also.
It does seem like gravity is affecting you.
But Reggie, upon kind of being like, "Oh, I absolutely know how to tackle this," then, and picks up the crystal skull.
Could I roll
Oh yes,
on Reggie's behalf for
please do.
basically the creation of this crystal skull?
Yes.
I am invoking the tags Adamant Ambitious Leader, Manifest Literary Magic, and let's see. I'm leaning towards 3 steps ahead. Oh, we got to rewind.
I just want to have the slightly stressed Sinichi, having seen effect, sit back, lean against one of the railings, pull a cigarette out from his jacket and just light it on one of the lasers and start slightly stressed smoking.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Sunichi snapped back at Kim in a way that you have not seen him do before.
I'd like to add that Goin is now like crouching in front of Kim and like wiping his face like a toddler, trying to get the burn off.
But yes. Go give me that roll. That sounds good.
Okay.
What is this going to be? This kind of feels like a change the game since you're manifesting an entity.
Right. And the third tag was well-loved literature, this being a very classic, traditional kind of novel. Okay. Time. Change this game.
Mixed success. Okay. Perfect, actually. There is now a tag. Can I edit this without it being like a bastard? Oh, no. There we go. There we go. We got it. We got it. Sick. And I'm gonna go and hide this now because we know where we are. Just so we have a visual representation of what tags we already have in play. So Reggie picks up the skull in one gloved hand and holds it out in front of themselves. And you see them, like, blur, as if there were multiple versions of Reggie standing on the same point. And they all shift and wiggle a little bit. And then eventually it snaps back to one. And then Reggie walks down the corridor, just in a straight, almost in a straight line, wiggling left a little bit, wiggling right in some places, as if he knew what he needed to do so, but just walks down the corridor. The lasers go everywhere, except they don't hit Reggie, and they don't hit Lucian. They hit everyone else, though.
Oh, fuck. I'd like to imagine that Reggie is just like Prada, like going down the catwalk. Mm-hmm. Long-legged walk.
Oh, nonchalant as fuck.
Bayonetta style.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, Shinichi and Goin, please roll dodge for me, please.
Jesus Christ. I'd love to. I'd love to not get
Reggie, friendly fire is on.
Team killer.
First.
No, I can do it. So I just roll.
What tags are you going to? So it's the macro rather than the main thing. What tags are you going to use?
I think I'm gonna try to block the beam with my, because I like to imagine that like my big club is made of steel, so there is some reflective quality to it. So I'm just gonna block it with my big club, and I'm going to therefore invoke the tag. It's a big club. I also think invoking the iron facade charisma thing in a way.
Trying to make this look effortless, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like I wanna look like I still wanna impress Reggie, but in a way that's now openly antagonistic instead of like, hey, I want to impress you. So I'm gonna do that. So that's 2 tags.
Cool. Go roll dodge at +2, please. You do also have the tag of lucky if you would like to spend it.
Listen, Nathan. I don't need luck.
I don't need luck.
I don't need any. I think I don't need luck. Look at this. Look at this roll. Look at a roll. That's a 7. That's partial success. I need a little bit of luck.
Okay, on a partial, pick 1. You avoid taking any damage. You avoid getting separated from the others or losing something valuable.
Yeah, the last one doesn't apply.
Yeah. So you pick one of those two. No, the third one doesn't make sense here. So you avoid taking any damage and you avoid getting separated from the others.
All right. Yeah, I choose just avoid taking damage. So I guess maybe that like to spell like to describe what happens, like a straight beam like goes up to Goin, and I think Goin is sort of like with a pinky finger like scratching inside of his ear and like looking at it, and with his other hand he just kind of like hoists the club up to like his shoulder, and like in that swinging motion the beam sort of like hits the front end of the club and like scatters poof, to like just the wall away from that.
Heck yeah. But it does kind of it seems that the way that the lasers are oriented now will make it more of a pain for you to get to the other side.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shinichi.
Indeed. So I think I'll take the first tag, concealed weapon. Seeing how this is going, Shinichi reaches into his voluminous pockets, juices up a relatively long sort of, probably like a bayonet or something of polished steel. Which he'll then sort of put in front of him as the beam traces towards him, and I think applying the tag hits someone with their own power, and it's sort of reflecting back in a Reggie direction if it's depending how I roll. So I'll roll, and I think because I'll forget about it if not, use the advantage roll that I've got.
So use the roll with advantage macro to roll dodge at +2.
Sure. Dodge.
Lucian is such a bop. Ooh! Ooh!
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Grumpy
yeah,
Sonichi is quite nasty.
you don't get separated and you don't take any damage. Tell me what happens.
So yes, this beam sort of tracing its way along the floor in the direction towards Sonichi, with human-like reflexes. A sort of flash of steel as he flicks this knife, and the beam, as he's moving through, sort of bounces and probably sort of glides in a very painful manner across the back of Reggie's neck and across the back of one hand as it sort of redirects back towards the emitter.
Huh. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna have Reggie dodge that. Reggie takes that laser damage. It was something that Reggie was not expecting, said in purple.
Sonichi will duck through the gap. Probably not be too obvious where that's just come from.
Well, Reggie whirls round and looks at all of you and was all kind of like, wow, I thought I cleared that game with no problems at all, but it seems there was another flaw. Oh well. But that was a lot of fun, Lucian. I love making friends with people who like to play games. And suggest interesting games too. Hopefully we can suggest more interesting games to people in the future.
I got a tip for you moving forward. This is a team effort. Try not to get us killed. It's not that much of a game.
So, Lucian, you gain a link up with Reggie. I will let you decide whether it is a positive or a negative link up.
Only time will tell. I'm leaning towards positive right now, as I think Lucian is definitely doing the trying to be a good leader thing right now, and puts moves the hand that was previously on Kim's head to Goin's head and says, "No, why don't we frame it this way? It's a game, but it's one of those games where if any of your party members gets a game over, then you get a game over."
Well,
Going, I'm trying to connect with the youth. Just trust me.
Oh, I was like, I mean, we are youth also, but I was expecting a wink.
I'm 18 going.
Are you now? Well, good for you. Hope you enjoy your drugs. Adult.
Oh, it's cut my flaming cigarette in half, Sonichi, looking at the mention of drugs, and he's looking down at his hand after...
Sonichi, go not a full tier, but push stress up by 1 tick.
Understood.
Love the idea of just the cigarette being perfectly bisected.
To move things on a little bit, Sonichi, the coast is actually clear for you. I think with the kind of like a 12 that you've rolled, the skull has been left in a position in the hallway where actually your side is relatively easy to slip past without having to do too much wiggling or rolling for it. Lucian, yours is actually quite straight. Well, yours is as complicated as it was when it started. Reggie got himself to the other side and didn't damage you, but your situation hasn't really improved that much. Goin, your route through is harder.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay. I would like to get to the other side, so I think Goin starts to roll his shoulders a little bit, athletic, cracks his neck in a way that's very, very jockey. And he looks at Kim and goes, "Well, Kim, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much would you say that getting singed by lasers hurts?"
Oh, pretty bad. Well, it depends whether if you stand in one too long, you'll saw your arm off or whatever, right? But hey, if you're moving quickly.
So, what if I... Listen, you've gotten used to it. What if I just walk through the lasers and have you in front of me? So you soak up all the lasers?
You can try that. I think this will suck a lot. And then there will be... okay, so yes. Kim will body block for you, there will be immediate consequences regardless of how you roll. But this is a thing that you can do.
Oh, hold on. An idea just popped into my mind. Did you know that lasers are easily diffused, as in their their focal force is scattered once a gas is introduced? And I look at Kim.
Oh my god.
Please no.
Listen, you have made it hard for me.
Okay. No, all right. Okay.
Kim. Oh, we gotta rewind.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. And I am not. No one can instant replay the Kim Wario fart though.
Yeah. No, just I'm not interested in describing all of that, but I just look at
we'll make the roll. We'll do it, and it will be I think obvious without having to go into intimate detail about why it's unpleasant. But yeah, what tags would you like to use here?
Well, I don't have any olfactory tags, but I do have Goblin Unleashed and Embarrassing Pranks.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
So,
yeah.
And what kind of roll?
I think this is going to be a change the game roll.
We got a frame by frame.
I'll incorporate that. That's fine. Go.
Splitting with his fart. Can we get frame? Can we get Billy in there?
Ugh.
God. But yes. Please go give me a change the game roll with those two tags.
Yeah, we're changing the game, but in a meta way, we're changing the whole tone of this game.
I mean, well, we're in a part where this is a silly room. You're allowed to. Okay.
Well, how does that go here?
So.
Oh boy.
This works.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no, it works. We're in the realm of fiction where kind of cartoon bullshit can occur, and we get, as everybody was expecting but not hoping, a thick green cloud permeates the entire place.
Yeah, I hold Kim like a bagpipe.
Shinichi, your stress increases by 1 tier.
I would like to find additional teammates.
Lucian.
Sarging temples slightly.
Could I try to do something to get the hell away from this? Because I was already thinking about basically pulling a gust-powered power slide.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I just had the dumbest idea for what book would do this.
Okay.
When I say gust-powered, I do mean just a big poof of wind. Okay, this is a really dumb idea. I'm going to introduce what book it is after the roll.
Okay.
Okay, I think because I forgot to do it last time, could I invoke my advantage for this?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. I think, what would be good for this? Well, I am thinking of a specific book. It is definitely well-loved literature. I think that's probably all that would count right now. So I'm willing to do this with a +1. How do I, is there a way in this that I can call for advantage?
So there's a macro at the bottom with roll with advantage. I think change the game is one of the macro options in there, but if it isn't, you can choose anything.
Should be.
Okay, let's see. Roll with advantage. I don't see change the game there, so I'm going to just do dodge.
Sure.
Add modifier 1, and X. Bro! 666!
Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow.
There, okay, so... Lucian just, seeing what's about to happen and seeing just, a grimace fall across Shinichi's face, we get, a friggin' samurai movie like shing across Lucian's eyes as they narrow, and just like, not today. I will not have my dignity be besmirched. As they whip a book out of their bag, throw it on the ground, and then like do a twirling fall so that as the book flies open, they're propelled forward, just barely grazing under all the lasers. The book is gone with the wind.
Yeah, you make your way to the other side of the corridor, as Reggie golf claps on your kind of arrival. Shinichi, you've also made it to the other side. Goin, you walk through at the same pace as Shinichi. You take nauseous too.
Buddy, what did you eat this morning?
I think Kim just laughs.
What didn't I eat? I ate everything on the ground.
Before long, you reach a gigantic metal door. And it's despite what the graphic shows, the door is shut, and would definitely take, from visually, what it would take a sheer amount of force to open. Meanwhile, as you hit there, you hear footsteps in the background in the distance, and 3 additional people kind of like enter the fray off the side as they kind of like whirl around an entirely separate corner. As Sabine shows up, followed by Vega and Kier.
I instinctively start like, this is where I position myself, like
Sure.
sort of triangle position in front of everyone.
I think Shinichi will have been sort of heading towards the edge of the vault and looking, and then sort of suddenly stop and look across, looking a little bit confused. I presume he seems Sabine's slightly different persona.
Does Sabine's new outlook on life reflect in their collective unconscious outfit in any way?
Yeah, I don't think that she'd really be in the flight suit anymore. She's probably, man, I guess more dressed like a medieval squire, like kind of frillery and flowing, like coats and like that the sort of fluffy tie kind of deal. Rapier at the side, at her side, probably is what it's closer to. Now that she's probably more of a squire to Mordred rather than like a
I think
banshee pilot.
Because Mordred is still like a robot knight, that you probably still have some of the sci-fi elements involved in your design. It's like almost like a Star Ocean style mashup of medieval and futuristic.
Hologram ruffled tie.
Ooh, yes.
Projected.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
And there's a powdered wig. Just kidding.
But yeah, Vega whirls around the corner, panting, hands on knees, like, we caught up with you. This building's huge.
I wasn't. Goen looks back at like where Shinichi is, and looks back at Vega and Kier. I didn't know we were getting backup. What's this all about?
Indeed.
Yeah. Yes. Well, when there was Agent Fields got in touch with us and said that you had discovered a shard of the collective unconscious, when reporting that in is usually our duty, so that it went above and beyond our role was cause for concern. Just to make sure that you weren't damaged by this labyrinth in any way, we chose to follow in pursuit. Also, one of your teammates was apparently still in the real world while you were all cavorting around here.
That's a point. Oh, Sabine was in the library today. Sabine, what are you wearing?
I think Sabine is, kind of still standing behind Kier and Vega. She's not really engaging with the group all that much. She is taking a very sort of guarded approach, and is sort of letting Kier and Vega do all the talking. And when she's addressed by Shinichi, I think she kind of shies away, takes a step back, and like opens her mouth, tries to find the words, and can't really, nothing really comes out. So she doesn't really answer you.
A certain confusion in Shinichi's eyes as he glances at Sabine, and then sort of, what's happened to you? Just sort of look from each character to each character, sort of the confusion almost grasping a little bit to paranoia, and also a hint of accusation. See if anyone almost flinches under his glance.
Goin. This conversation, how are you feeling as this conversation is going place, especially upon seeing Sabine? Because you've not seen Sabine in person since.
That's true. So, I think it's fair to say that since Goin was the one who called the shot with the card, he's the only one that sort of remembers that timeline. Or is that?
I'm going to go with Shinichi remembering the timeline because it sort of works quite well for me for this.
I did kind of highlight that I will leave it up to on a player-to-player basis to decide whether they remember what happened before.
Mm-hmm. I think Goin looks at this, like, looks away from Shinichi with kind of a toothy grin, and looks at Sabine and goes, "Great new outfit."
She snaps back. Everyone's so worried about appearances around here. Jeez Louise.
Yes. Goin goes to like do the pinky thing in his ear again. He was like, "Well, I guess it's fair to say that not everyone appears to be who they are." And I think he looks back at Shinichi, like kind of catching on. Shinichi, why don't you come to the forefront? Because I don't think we've got our story straight. Lucian, what do you think?
There's been something gnawing at the back of my head, almost like a song playing that you can't quite identify, but the tune gets stuck in your ears all day. Both of you seem to know more than I do, and Sabine, it's been a while. I'm surprised to see you here.
See, she sort of steps up, so he's probably next to Reggie at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And look like he's about to say, we'll wait to see how Sabine responds after Lucian's comment. Do not interrupt.
Sabine responds, I'm sorry, I only kind of remember who you are. Vague memories and associations, I suppose. Like, I've read your autobiography, then gone back in time to the moments that I read about, if that makes sense. So, I only know about you from bits and pieces. Forgive me if I'm not a little bit more buddy-buddy with you, as I am with Kieran Vega. Those two I remember. You four, especially, and she points at Reggie. I got nothing on you.
Yeah, you're new to me too, but what's a couple of new friends? After all, you're all here to help me,
Reggie, shut up. Goin, what did you do? There's going to be almost a flicker of the lights in the vault at this point.
I actually ignore Shinichi's question and ask Kieran Vega. Hold on. What was the name of that? The island where case number 2.
Elysium Islands.
Elysium Islands. Remember Elysium Islands? The rich lady?
I do indeed. Mm-hmm.
Was she there? And like he like nudges his neck at Sabine.
Oh, well. Vega looks confused. Kier stares at you, Goin, and looks between you and Sneechy, and says, "That's a very bold question for you to ask, considering the choices that you made on your last case. I didn't say anything, but if you're going to make such bold decisions, you should be okay with the consequences, right?"
What consequences? What did you do?
I helped a friend out. I had a good conversation over ice cream. And then I decided what to do. And you, I think what you did, I don't know exactly what it is, but you've been playing cards you actually weren't dealt with. You actually weren't dealt. And now we're in this hot mess. Listen, I turn to Kier. I'll play straight. Lying is not something I'm good at. And I have no reason to lie. I've no intention to cause any trouble. I honestly did what I thought was best for, well, call it selfish, but for Sabine. But Shinichi, if you want to know what I did, then you're gonna have to spill the beans too.
What's going on? We deserve an explanation for this.
Yes.
Lucian is growing like the blood is just draining from their face.
We've covered for you, Shinichi, at the last debriefing. But like Kier, we know that something's up. But
What I've done's fading into irrelevance at this point, says Sinichi, glaring at Glenn as you start to put 2 to 2 together. Again, 2 and 2 together. The lights do this weirdly ominous flicker.
Well, good.
I will reach into his pocket and produce the card from
The justice, yes.
yeah,
the
the
copy
justice
of a
card.
copy.
Alright. Yeah, that thing. Kim, remember that thing?
I
Hold on,
sure
shut up,
do.
both of you.
So go ahead.
Where's the fourth one? Where's that other person?
Oh yeah, Reggie, like, the vault door is open now, and
shit.
Reggie is nowhere to be seen.
Unresolved bullshit the both of you have going on right now. Excuse my language. We need to deal with it later. Right now, I don't know. I get a bad feeling from that guy. We gotta go follow right now.
That idiot
This
can wait.
burner.
We need to deal with the other one first. Who's
No,
like glaring up?
I think
No. Oh, sorry, go on.
I think Sabine is right. If whatever's in that vault, I don't trust that kid getting his hands on it. Whatever may happen in the future is more important than what's already happened. And once he's taken care of, then we'll settle this.
Listen,
Sinichi,
that's
sorry
all.
to interrupt very briefly. Sinichi, would you like to stop people from leaving?
I think so. I think the vault might slam shut at this point.
Very good, sir. Very good choice.
No, stays Nietzsche. Because Goin's done something that far outstrips my little act of foolishness. So,
Yeah, at this point, Goin is like Jojo walking towards Shinichi, and like does the delinquent thing where he just like gets real close up to his face, and I think Goin is like a bit taller than.
oh
Shinichi.
yeah. Sonichi's probably got his eyes lowered at this point.
Yeah.
You probably see for Lucian, at least that's way, his hands probably shaking on the cane slightly, in sort of vaguely suppressed rage.
So I like loom over Shinichi. I think you can see like a shadow like this flickering lights. I think cast like a stroboscopic flickering shadow over Shinichi, like going shadow, and hands in the pockets of his robe of his gi. Goin just says, "I wiped Sabine's slate clean. I didn't want her to barrel down a life of crime with you. What did you do?"
You stupid fool, he'll say. You play things you've absolutely no comprehension. You didn't wipe a slate clean. Since you'll suddenly glare up, putting the final crack on his delivery boy book. Eyes jet black and irises glowing a vaguely ominous gold. You wrote Sabine out of the story. You murdered her. Be a sort of explosion as several of the lights just blow out in the room.
Absolutely. We're gonna do it this way. Even with Shinichi, your form stays the same, but your presence grows. You can feel like the energy within you pushing its way outwards, like trying to stretch at malleable walls. Everybody else, you see horns start to grow from Shinichi's head.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And that is where we're going to go into our first break, everybody.
Fuck you! No, I'm saying. Look out!
Oh yeah.
First part to YouTube, but then wait like a week and upload the second part. To
No.
really, like, fuck YouTube
We're going to
for
be
not
returning
being here.
soon, but I think now is a wonderful time for everybody to go and stretch their legs, rehydrate, and I get to have a very brief conversation with Tom. So, I will see all of you in about 10. Oh, yes!
Don't
yes.
forget the cut.
Oh, gosh. Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh, I will see all of you in 10 minutes or so, because once again, and for the final time, this is Arcana Core. Mysteries in the Unconscious. See you soon.